What's up, guys? Back again with another beer review, and this is one that we've been wanting to do for a while on a beer that we've enjoyed for a long time and been lucky enough to have quite a few of.
Yeah, we got really lucky for like gift after gift after gift. We ended up with I think probably 5 or 6 of Dogfish Head Brewing, I forget what they're called, their specialty beers, and this one is Miles Davis's Bitches Brew, the I guess anniversary release or something like that.
It was brewed originally for the re-release of this album.
Yeah.
Miles Davis Bitches Brew. This is actually not the re-release. This is the original.
Yeah, this
release.
is my mom's original copy that she let us borrow.
Yeah, so a lot of fun stuff, and we've always talked about listening to Bitches Brew while drinking a Bitches Brew.
Exactly, and the time has come. We're getting ready to move, so we didn't want to travel with good old Miles here. So,
just the record, not the beer.
Yeah.
This was brewed by, of course, Dogfish Head in 2010 and debuted at the event called Savor in Washington, D.C.
So Sam Calagione, however the hell you pronounce his name. Calagione?
Yeah, we'll go with
Calagione or Calagione or Calagione?
It's Own, not Oni. I heard him say that when we were watching.
Anyway.
But.
So we, a long time ago, we ended up with a DVD of Brewmasters, which follows Dogfish Head. And I don't know, we had it sitting around, and now that we're kind of going through our stuff, getting ready to move, we found it. We'd never opened it, so we watched it today, and it happened to be about Bitches Brew, and it was just perfect timing because we had the record and we had one of these sitting around just waiting. I don't know how long we've been waiting for it. So we got to hear all about it. So either you can go watch that yourself and skip our little video, or you can let us tell you.
Or you can watch us first and then go watch that.
Yeah, because otherwise I was going to say, if you don't watch that, you don't get to see Sam and, what did he call themselves? The pain relievers rap about this beer, which is really funny. So
the closing credits, like 30 seconds, was well worth the rest of the episode. So anyway, this brew was brewed in essentially collaboration with Sony. Oh, sorry, with Sony Records. They asked him to brew this up, like I said, for the re-release.
And Sam had this great idea that, he's first off like a Miles Davis enthusiast apparently, and Dogfish is known for like kind of being music lovers and this and that, but even like on the record you can see it, actually on the other side is kind of more about it, where you see this fusion of like 2 different things, of different, Black in My Hands, and of rock and jazz and all that. That's what the record was known for. So Sam wanted to do something similar with the beer and kind of invoke that feeling, so that's how we ended up with this beer, which is dark and roasty and chocolatey, and I guess it's what did he say? It was 75%
stout.
I want to say imperial stout, but that doesn't sound right. Just stout?
Being coming in at 9%, it's probably imperial stout.
So they brewed 2 beers for this, essentially. So one is stout.
Right, one is stout, and the second...
I can't remember what it's called. Taj,
I believe.
Tej.
It's an Ethiopian honey beer, essentially, which he said was higher ABV, more along the lines of wine.
Yeah, they say cloyingly sweet when they drink it. So
yeah.
Very sweet, very alcoholic.
Yeah, and for the fusion, and it's not actually a brewing combination of the two. It's literally 2 separate brewed things that at the end are combined into this.
Exactly. So it's a quarter of this Tej stuff, which is beer that's entirely fermented from honey, and then only bittered with gesho, sticks and leaves, I guess. Well, that's instead of hops. So it's very, very different from beer.
And simply because hops don't grow naturally in Ethiopia. Thoughts, Mayor?
Oh, it's delicious as usual. I just love this beer. And now that I've read about it and like heard about it and heard Sam talk about it, I just am more and more in love with it. It tastes like the best stout you'll ever have. One of my favorite things that I learned when I was watching this Brewmasters episode, which Discovery, I don't know why, like they must have released it too soon, because I thought it was fascinating. I was in love with it. I would be a loyal watcher, but I guess it was before, like a season or 2. Yeah. But the craft beer revolution hadn't blown up, I guess. But Sam said, drink it in a tulip glass. This is as close as we had, or a wine glass, while listening to the record. So we figured, let's do exactly that. Oh, that's what I wanted to say. So Sam got this assignment from Sony and like landed the deal, and then he had like 10 weeks till the release, which is enough time. But he said, no, let's make my life freaking hard. And decided to debut it at Savor, which is a big beer and food festival. It's very expensive and fancy in DC. So I guess that only gave them like 5 weeks.
5 weeks.
5 weeks to do like one test batch, and then they took it to debut it to hundreds of people. I mean, from all over the world. Very, very, beer-knowing people, and also just average Joes. Anybody who wants to pay for a ticket gets in.
And hadn't tasted it themselves at this point.
And he tasted it, and everybody loved it. They raved about it. They kicked the keg really fast, apparently. And then Sam said, he was happy with it, but he was still like perfectionist. And he said, I want to add something to it. So now, the main thing I remember from that is that he wanted to add a bunch of crystals to the middle because it was a little bit too dry. He said he wanted to add some body to it, so he added some crystals. And so that's really the first thing I notice now with this beer that I love.
Very
roasty and chocolatey, and
yep, it's just wonderful.
Smells like chocolate, a little bit of honey. I love it.
Yeah, it's wonderful. So definitely go check both out for yourself because it's a great album too.
Absolutely.
So check out the album, check out the beer, and if you could drink it while listening, that's even better.
Yeah, and this is one of those beers that, once again, because it was a gift, it is my favorite type of beer.
Because what's your favorite type of beer?
Free beer!
Free beer! Cheers!
So enjoy it. It's a fancy one, but it's definitely worth it, and it's always excellent every time we have it. Makes me feel fancy too.
Very.
I think Miles would appreciate it.
I hope so. Alright guys,